Summer's officially here. Bathing suit season is in full swing, and if you'd like to lose a few pounds and feel a whole lot better with your life, then we've got help for you this morning, because Dr. Tim deRoos is back on the show with Infinite Health Centers up in Cleveland. And if the man sitting next to him has a familiar face but you can't quite pin it, this is Pastor Bernie Miller, who's what, 32 pounds lighter?
32 pounds lighter.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So we've had this lovely conversation before the interview officially started, and I'm a little bit thrown now on where we want to start. But let's start with the Infinite Health Centers part of it, and how the two of you came into connection. You simply saw his commercial, right?
That's it. I saw it on this station and decided to call one day, and I did, and got an appointment and went up to see him, and he explained to me what the process was. I saw a video, and he came in and he did some measurements and things, and from then he said, well, this is what it's going to cost, and how many pounds you want to lose? And I told him, and I was really short. I only wanted to lose about 15 pounds, but as it turned out, I lost 32. And it was a blessing to me.
I love the fact you were sharing the story, and that when you saw the commercial, the first thing you did was say to your wife, do you think that's true? And she said, yes, seems legit to me. So she gave you the go-ahead to give him a call.
Yeah.
But what's fun, Tim, and you can jump in here, is that you've had lots of people who've come your way and they've gotten help. There is, though, a mindset that you have to have, because many of the people who come your way have some emotional, I don't want to say deficiencies, that's not the right word, baggage maybe, that they carry with them that causes them to stumble. Is that a fair way to put it?
It is. There's so many obstacles we face psychologically to weight gain and weight loss, because a lot of our patients have tried other methods. They've tried some of the national commercialized plans you've seen. So, you know, when you try and you fail, you know, it's defeating. So people have to get over that and reset their mind, like we talked about earlier, to achieve that success. But it's very doable.
So self-awareness is part of it. So you actually shared with me today, when people come in and they fill out this form, you have some triggers for them. They have to answer some questions about how and when and why maybe they eat, so that they're in a mindset before you ever walk in that office door.
It's part of the customization process. You know, all doctors have paperwork. All questions on paperwork are supposed to have a specific intent, and that particular section helps me identify someone who's an emotional overeater or someone who's really struggling psychologically with past failures. So some people have to concentrate more energy on that portion of it to get them over the hump, so to speak.
So Pastor Miller, I'll let you kind of fill in the blanks here as much as you want to, but you gave a bit of a sermon in my office before we went on the air, because you were talking about some things you've dealt with in other times in your life, where you had to use a mental technique that you brought then to this experience with Tim, and you referred to it as HALT.
Yes, halt. If you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, stop. Halt. Because whatever decision you make in that frame of mind, it probably won't be the best decision. And so my primary goal was focused on getting rid of prescription drugs, particularly more so than the elimination of pounds. And I was able to, in particular, get rid of metformin. And then my weight loss came as a result of that.
So within 3 weeks, you were no longer considered a type 2 diabetic.
That's correct.
That's a remarkable amount of time.
Well, yeah.
I mean, really and truly. And so you have been, your blood sugar levels they weren't necessarily stabilized at all for
No,
you,
they weren't.
even with the medicine.
No. I mean, they were okay, but I'd wake up in the morning, it would be sometimes 132, and that's, you know, 121 is really kind of high, but that's a good, comfortable range. But now it's 96, it's 99, the most maybe 113.
So what you realize, Tim, is that the vanity part gets a lot of us, right, to pick up the phone and make that call, because you can't imagine that a few extra pounds, 32 pounds is not a ton of weight. I mean, you were not, you didn't look bad at all. but you felt bad. So can people even fathom how much better they're going to feel beyond just the appearance side of it?
You know, not typically, because, you know, you've heard the analogy of how do you boil a frog, right? It's called gradualism. So when someone actually starts accumulating weight and they get on that vicious cycle, their new normal has now been diminished. So that becomes their new normal. And then the next day, if they continue to gain weight and they feel diminished or depleted, that becomes their new normal. So it is very difficult for someone to conceptualize how much better they can feel when they're down 32 pounds.
Right.
This is a visual I give a lot of patients because I'm a backpacker, and I always hand them the fat model.
Yeah, how much fat is this that you brought?
That's 5 pounds.
So you lost almost 7 of these.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an armful.
So what's the visual that you give people?
Is a backpack. Being a hiker, you try to minimize your backpack weight. So if we're under 30 pounds, that's a success right there for a backpack weight. So some patients are coming in and they're hauling around 50, 70, 90 plus pounds. And that's why they're so depleted and drained, is because if you were carrying that excess weight all day long, the wear and tear in your knees alone is enough to wear you out.
Okay, so in order for your patients to find success, they have to buy into it, if you will, because you mentioned cost. We don't have to go into that, but this is not just something where you walk in and Dr. deRoos says, okay, I want you to eliminate these foods and eat these foods and I'll see you in a month. They have direct contact with you, and some of your patients need you a little bit more than others.
Absolutely. 24/7 contact with email, so you could write me an email at 3 in the morning. I'm not going to answer it until at least 5:30, but you got that access. You have telephone access. We have office visits in addition to those if need be. We do what it takes to get the job done and see the case through.
But the person has to be prepared to walk the walk.
Yes,
So you were
yes.
sharing with me that cantaloupe never tasted so good.
Oh yeah, the fruit that I've been exposed to through this plan has just been phenomenal. I look forward to dessert, because my dessert normally, well, all the time, it's fruit, and it's so refreshing. And I told my wife one day, I said, I didn't realize the berries and the strawberries and the raspberries and the blackberries and the blueberries, they all taste so good with a little bit of stevia on it, and it was incredible.
Do you almost feel like, you know, if you're an ophthalmologist and you perform a cataract surgery on someone and you give them back this vibrant sense of color, right? That's got to be a great feeling to offer that to a person. Do you ever feel like you pull a veil from people's lives to let them see what they can be?
Yeah, the burden that's lifted is not just the gravity of the weight. It's the perception when that person wakes up in the morning and they look in the mirror after their shower, or they put a new outfit on, because so many of my patients say, my pants are so baggy I can't keep them up, and I'm having to, you know, replace my wardrobe. So there's that component of being lifted up, not just from the physical appearance, but
And I guess you're kind of shuffling money around. So if you're going to put the output in to help having Dr. deRoos help you on your journey, at the end of it all, you're going to get money back in your pocket because you're not spending the money on those medications, right?
Oh, absolutely. I feel that having lost the pounds, I'm physically feeling a lot better, but spiritually I'm feeling a lot better. I think clearly, clearer. And physically, I feel good about myself, and it's amazing. I'm also an inspiration to my congregation.
I bet you are.
They are following the pastor, and they're wanting to know, well, can we do that same thing? I said, well, you probably can't, but we can give you some tips, and so Dr. deRoos is going to come by in July to help us out. Yeah, just to talk to us.
Well, you can remember Pastor Miller's tip of halt. So if you're hungry, angry, lonely or tired, halt.
Yep.
We passed him in the hallway. Everybody at this television station walked right by him, had no clue who you were. You look great.
Thank you so much.
You did before, but you look great.
Thank you.
You can find Dr. deRoos by calling him at 813-7575. The consultation is at no charge, correct?
right.
You go to losethefats.com to learn more. They're on Sunset Drive up in Cleveland. And who knows, you might be the one here on the green sofa bragging about however much weight it is that you've lost. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie.
Good to be here.